Hi, I'm Shauna, this is Shauna's World. Welcome back to my channel where I make videos about living intentionally. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And you can also find me on Instagram at Shauna's World. So today I am outside Launceston Castle and I am about to hike the Two Castles Trail, which goes from here on the eastern side of Cornwall all the way into Devon to Okehampton Castle, so it's going between two castles. Now, much of the walling of Launceston Castle dates back to the 12th century, but it was partly demolished in 1650. It was actually used by the county courts and the prisons until 1840, when the castle was remodelled and the grounds are used as a public park. So the reason I've chosen the Two Castles Trail as my trail to hike today is because I'm turning 38 on Sunday and I wanted to do a 38-kilometre trail to celebrate, and this trail pretty much exactly 38 kilometres. So Launceston actually used to be the capital of Cornwall, and it's a mixed town, kind of from what I've seen. I've been here 5 minutes, but there's kind of this beautiful Norman ruins and then a lot of the modern as well, just kind of normal town centre kind of vibes. Okay, I'm straight out of Launceston and into some winding country lanes. It's also pretty much stopped raining, which is great news because it's forecast to rain pretty much all day, and I was hoping for a nice sunny April day to celebrate my birthday prematurely with this 38-kilometre hike. Now I could see myself living in this little hamlet. I found my first trail sign, Two Castles Trail. So one thing I didn't say about this walk I'm doing today is I'm aiming to enter it on the FKT website. So FKT is fastest known time, and I realise I'm walking, so it's not a fast time, but for the FKT website has kind of loads of different trails and routes around the world, and people submit their fastest time for doing it, and there was only a men's FKT on this route. So I am submitting my time, so it will be slow and people can beat it at any time, but I thought I would get it out there. We're doing main road, lolloping along the grassy verge. Okay, there's nothing coming. Okay, off the road and onto a footpath. So I thought I'd just share kind of why it's important to me to do something like this for my birthday. I'm very lucky that this year my birthday's on Easter Sunday, so it's the 4-day weekend, so I'm basically celebrating for 4 days solid. Today is Good Friday, the Friday bank holiday, and I really wanted to do something special to commemorate my birthday. Yes, birthdays, some people like them, some people don't like them, whatever, and I think for me birthdays are a big thing because when I was younger and I was dealing with severe mental illness, I became psychotic when I was 21, and it was incredibly scary, and I remember vividly thinking I wasn't going to make it to my 22nd birthday, and it was very scary. And over that period between I kind of got ill in the summer and it got really bad until the winter, and then things started to turn, and by my birthday I wasn't dead, I wasn't in hospital, I wasn't suffering endlessly. I was still suffering, I was still struggling, but there was respite, there were breaks, and I was starting to get better. I was starting to function a little bit. That certainly wasn't the end of it, and I had relapses and I had terrible time, but that was the birthday that I really didn't think I was going to see, and that was kind of a benchmark for me. And when I hit my 30s, looking back on that and kind of having turned my life around and being in a much better place than I was all those years ago, I kind of look back at that and think, wow, I really didn't think I was going to make it, and I'm going to celebrate every year I do make it, because aging is a blessing. I know that's kind of a cliche, but yeah, I feel very lucky to be getting older because not everyone has that privilege. So I'm celebrating with doing something special, i.e. a 38-kilometre walk between two castles. Coming through the woods now, it's really beautiful. I just love walking through woods, I love it. And primroses everywhere. That's good. haven't had any primroses this year. I haven't really done any foraging this year so far, but I'd like to get back at it at this abundant time of year. Okay, I'm less than 5k in. It started really coming down with rain, and I've been on a road for a little while and I'm losing morale a little bit for the time being, so I'm just singing to myself. Oh, it's so nice to be off the main road. I mean, it wasn't too bad for a main road, but it coincided with the rain really coming down, everything getting wet, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'm having a good time. Hopefully there's not too much more main road. So I've just hit 10k, so 28k to go. That still feels like a very long way. The rain's eased up a little bit for now. Hopefully that continues. It is still raining, but it's not pissing it down anymore. I've had some quite low morale bouts where I'm like, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not having that much fun. Should I carry on? And I was having fun at the beginning. It was just when it got really wet. My feet are wet because my boots aren't waterproof anymore, and I'm just a bit grumpy. But then I thought, it's mental training. I mean, obviously I'm hiking today, not running. I had originally planned to run, but where it fit into my training, I've got the 25k at UTS in a month, so it didn't really fit with my training, because then I would have been tired if I'd run it and it would have knocked on my training. So I'm hiking it, but it's still good mental training in terms of time on feet and being resilient to the weather, because I could be doing races anytime when it's raining hard and I'm not having a good time, and I'm going to want to carry on even if I don't want to carry on. There's a great wild garlic patch here. I think part of me is really hoping to happen across a cafe or even a bus shelter, so I can just rest from the rain for a little bit. Oh, still quite a long way, it's still quite a long way. I just passed 13 kilometres, which leaves me with 25 to go, which I think is a normal day's hiking, and it's still morning, so I think I can get this wrapped up before dark. Actually, when I looked at the Two Castles Way documents online, they said, oh, it's split into 4 stages to be hiked over 4 days. I was like, no, I'm going to do that in a day. Despite it still raining, I'm feeling a lot more cheerful now. I've just been trying to think positive thoughts, think about the gratitude I have for being here and for the stuff I was saying before, making it, well, I haven't made it to another birthday yet. I've still got 2 days to go. Okay, I don't know where I am, but I've just got to a small town village and I've come across a pub. It's Good Friday, so is it going to be open? I feel like that's a normal time to be open, but I very much hope that it is, and I can get some food and some coffee. It's closed. I'm not impressed, it's closed. I'm going to have to crack on and eat my sandwich. There are some very slippy rocks down here. I just slipped over, not a bad one, but I slipped and fell on my bum. Yep, still on track. I love these 2 little people with the bindle sacks. Well, I've just hit 19k, which is the halfway point. That's quite reassuring. I feel like the time has gone quite quickly, but also 19k does feel like quite a long way to go. And if I'm honest, I'm a little bit bored. I think it's maybe partly the weather, partly not being able to fully relax into it because of the weather, that I'm just kind of like, oh, it's a bit dry. And there's not that much elevation so far, which keeps it not very interesting. It does make it quite easy, but yeah, that sounds like a really spoiled thing to say on such a lovely walk. It is really genuinely loads of gorgeous bits. I'm a bit like, come on already. I would, I've said this multiple times, love to happen across a pub, but for now I'm going to celebrate the halfway point by eating my Morrison's sandwich. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but when I've been walking all morning, a pre-packaged sandwich, can't turn my nose up at that. Well, after complaining that it's too flat, I got a pretty good hill to walk up. There's gorse all around here. It's gorgeous, vibrant yellow. It's stopped raining for the time being. I'm gonna absolutely make the most of this because who knows how long it'll last. Oh, I'm feeling really good now. Well, it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. It's been really mixed. You know, I mentioned there's kind of more built up bits and more rural bits, but this is really nice. There hasn't been that much woodland or forest, lots of farmland and then lots of roads. But it's been mixed enough to keep me on my toes, and actually now that it's stopped raining, I'm not bored. One thing I've really liked about it is I've barely seen anyone else. Obviously when there's busy roads, there's cars and the odd person. I've seen the odd person pottering outside their houses, but really I think I've only seen maybe one or two other walkers, and I feel a bit like I have this bit to myself. I think I'm in Devon now. I'm not 100%, I assume I'm in Devon because I'm over halfway, and I think it was only Launceston was right on the edge of Cornwall. But I've really perked up. That food did me good, and I'm looking forward to a good afternoon of hiking. I just accidentally ended up going through somebody's garden instead of the footpath, and then to get out I had to untie a very tied up knot on the gate, and then I tied it up to a subpar knot at the end because I'm a bit rusty on my knots and I don't even know what the knot it was tied up was, so I feel a bit bad about that. But it was an accident. I just hit 25 kilometers completed, and it doesn't feel like that long ago I was saying I only had 25 kilometers to go and that was a full day's walking usually. So I could say I've done a full day's walking. It's only the early hours of the afternoon, only 13k to go. But to be honest, I think I'm probably going to be significantly over 38k from all the little bits I've gone wrong a little bit and then come back, or yeah, just kind of, it's always a little bit longer than what the official trail is because we don't walk in a perfectly straight line all the time. Because I kind of want it to be on 38k for my 38th birthday. I might just pause, like stop my watch at 38k and then finish the rest of it in secret. Oh no, because I'm recording this as an FKT, so I absolutely can't do that. I need the full trail. Oh well. Okay, coming through Bridestow, it's started raining again and I see a pub up ahead. Please pray for me that it's open. Oh, that's so needed. I've got a coffee and a packet of crisps and a little pause at the pub. I was stopped in that pub for an hour and a half, which wasn't my intention. So just sat and thought in the pub and recovered for a bit. Drank my coffee, ate my crisps, had 2 coffees in the end. I was flagging a bit and it was in some ways a pick-me-up, but in some ways finding it harder to get back out now that I've had that little break. One thing I'm really struggling with at the moment is chafe. I was for the last probably 10k or so, but it wasn't too bad because I was just powering through. And now that I've stopped, for some reason when I stop, it always feels so much worse. And I'm struggling. I feel like I'm kind of waddling because I'm in pain, and it's embarrassing to share this, but actually I really like when other people share it because it makes you feel less alone. And Sabrina Pace-Humphreys from the Black Trail Runners has been sharing her chafing journey, and I really feel solidarity because I really struggle with chafe, mainly when I'm running, not so much when I'm walking, but it's pretty bad today. And I have to power through another 10k in pain. I just stopped here for a nature wee. Bloody nettles. Thankfully, I only got stung on my leg and not anywhere worse. But look where you're peeing. Just passed through a very cool village. Lots of highwayman references in street names and sign names. So I think there must be some history of highway men. It was always men, wasn't it? You want to hear about the highway women. One more K until I hit the 38K, but I do have longer to go after that. Feeling all right, but I've kind of just been grinding out those miles after the pub stop. Mixed levels of enjoyment, some beautiful views across Dartmoor, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting to the end. Not far now. Coming up to 38K alongside a massive busy road. I'm in the woods, which is very nice, but on the other side is a mammoth road. Yes, I hit 38K, which is actually completely anticlimactic because it's just an arbitrary number and I'm not 38 for another 2 days anyway. But that's the whole reason I came out to do this walk. Great excuse for a walk. So I can feel elated. Well, I don't. It does feel anticlimactic because I haven't finished the walk. But I am glad I hit 38K. Had a great day. I think I have about 2K left to actually get to Okehampton Castle. I made it! Here I am at the castle, looking very beautiful. I think I prefer this one to Launceston Castle. I love the ruin. Now, you may have noticed that at the start of this video, I was at Launceston Castle and I was telling you facts about the castle and the area, and I have not done that at all on the walk. I had a note of things along the way, hill forts, all of this, but because my phone was struggling to exist in the rain, I did not look at it. But here is a fun fact at Okehampton Castle. This castle was built just after the Norman conquest, but it was torn down by Henry VIII in 1538 because its owner committed treason, so it stood in ruins ever since then. Now it's just an English heritage site, so a popular tourist attraction. Now that brings my challenge to the end. I've stopped my watch, so that's the official Two Castles Trail done, and I'll be submitting that as an FKT. I don't know if me going into that pub is gonna mess that up because I was a bit off route. I don't really know how strict they are. I mean, I did the whole route, but I did kind of a little bit extra. It should be fine. I'm not overly fast, like I wasn't aiming to do it fast. I am just putting it out there because there was no women's or non-binary FKT, and I'm doing it to increase representation for people, and hopefully someone will come along and take my FKT if it does get approved. Now I'm gonna go find the train station. Please pray for me that it's not too long till a train when I get there, because I think they're once an hour, and then I have to change at Exeter to get home. I cannot stay enough to chase this. I think on the train though. It's about an hour and 40 to get home. Well, that was quite a hike, and I'm really glad I did it. It definitely wasn't the most beautiful hike in the world, but there were some really stunning bits. It was just a fair bit on the road, but it came up to just over 40k, and I will tell you, it was approved for an FKT, so now I hold the non-binary fastest known time on that route. I definitely feel slightly cheeky submitting an FKT when I was going so slowly and I stopped in the pub, but I really want to increase representation and get more people applying for the women's and the non-binaries FKTs, because so many of them are just held by men. Actually, I think I might do a video on FKTs and getting them approved, because I want to do more, definitely more on the running side rather than just a leisurely stroll. But I'm really glad I've done one now, and it was a great way to celebrate my 38th birthday. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like more videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!